Ever wondered what happens when sci-fi goes too far? The films that left audiences scratching their heads, questioning reality, and even whispering, "What did I just watch?" These are the bizarre, the forgotten, the ones that dared to be different. From unsettling alien encounters to dystopian nightmares, these films will challenge your perception of sci-fi forever. Buckle up, it's going to get strange, and you won't believe what we're about to show you. The Lathe of Heaven, 1979. Imagine a man whose dreams have the power to reshape reality. Sounds like a blessing, right? But what happens when those dreams start to spiral out of control? Based on Ursula K. Le Guin's novel, The Lathe of Heaven is a low-budget, made-for-TV gem that tackles themes of power, ethics, and the consequences of playing with fate. The protagonist, George Orr, has the ability to alter the world around him just by dreaming. But what begins as an intriguing gift quickly descends into a terrifying exploration of unintended consequences. The film's eerie atmosphere and its exploration of the limits of human control offer a chilling perspective on the fragility of reality itself. Its haunting visuals and subtle paranoia pull you into a world that's constantly shifting beneath your feet, forcing you to question whether reality is really as stable as we think. The Lathe of Heaven may not be as widely known, but its thought-provoking narrative makes it one of the strangest and most intellectually engaging films of its era. As you watch, you might wonder, are we in control of our destiny? Or is it something far more unpredictable? Soylent Green, 1973. It's one of the most famous sci-fi twists in film history, but the disturbing truths buried in Soylent Green run much deeper than just its iconic reveal. Set in a dystopian future where overpopulation and environmental collapse have ravaged Earth, this film stars Charlton Heston as the detective unraveling a conspiracy that will forever alter the way you see food. When Heston's character uncovers the secret behind the food ration known as Soylent Green, the film goes from a gritty thriller to a haunting commentary on human exploitation and environmental destruction. What makes this film so disturbing isn't just the twist, but the grim world it presents, one where the desperate struggle for survival turns people into commodities. The film offers a chilling look at a future shaped by greed, resource depletion, and an unsustainable human population. Soylent Green doesn't just shock, it warns. As you watch, you'll realize how close we might be to the very world it warns against. This dark vision of the future is a must-see, but be prepared to walk away with a lingering sense of unease. Phase 4, 1974. There's a reason Phase 4 remains one of the most unsettling and obscure sci-fi films of the 70s. It's unlike anything else. When a strange phenomenon causes ants to evolve into a hyper-intelligent species, scientists must investigate what's happening before it spirals out of control. Phase 4 is a bizarre blend of science fiction and nature's terrifying unpredictability. The film's slow-burning tension, accompanied by eerie visuals and a haunting soundtrack, keeps the viewer on edge, unsure of what's real and what's part of the ants' dangerous world. The movie dives deep into humanity's fear of losing control to the natural world, with scientists scrambling to understand and combat a threat that they can't fully comprehend. It's more about the unsettling sense of dread than any overt action, and its striking, almost surreal cinematography creates a claustrophobic, alienating atmosphere. The quiet tension and cerebral exploration of the conflict between human technology and nature's power make Phase 4 a sci-fi experience that sticks with you long after the credits roll. If you're looking for a film that feels more like a meditation on man's place in the world than a typical bug movie, Phase 4 will leave you with unsettling questions about the future. Westworld, 1973. What if the future of entertainment was a nightmare waiting to happen? Westworld, directed by Michael Crichton, introduces a futuristic amusement park where guests can live out their wildest fantasies in a world populated by robots. At first, everything seems idyllic. Visitors get to indulge in their desires without consequence. But the synthetic beings, programmed to serve, begin to malfunction, and what starts as an innocent vacation spirals into a chaotic nightmare. The film is ahead of its time, blending dystopian themes with dark questions about artificial intelligence and human nature. While the technological aspects seem almost quaint today, Westworld taps into timeless fears. What happens when the lines between human and machine blur? The eerie atmosphere, paired with Yul Brynner's chilling portrayal of the malfunctioning gunslinger, makes this film a chilling exploration of humanity's obsession with control. As the park's robots rebel, the guests' fragile grip on their safety is shattered, leaving the audience with a lingering sense of dread. Westworld asks us to consider whether we're ready for the future we're creating and how easily it can all go terribly wrong. The film's lasting influence is undeniable, but one thing's clear. Even in a world of perfect simulation, danger is just a glitch away. The Final Program, 1973. What happens when the world's last hope for salvation is a reckless playboy who can barely keep his life together? The Final Program is a unique sci-fi film that feels like a fever dream wrapped in dark humor and philosophical musings. Starring John Finch as Jerry Cornelius, a man caught between science, politics, and rebellion, this film takes you on a wild ride through a collapsing world. With its bizarre narrative and eclectic characters, The Final Program is a cult classic that hasn't been fully appreciated. The story revolves around Cornelius's search for a way to rebuild the world, but the execution is as strange as the premise. Its mix of philosophical ramblings, chaotic storytelling, and outrageous visuals create a feverish energy that matches the film's dystopian vision. From surreal dream sequences to jarring tonal shifts, the film never lets you settle into comfort. It challenges conventional sci-fi tropes, opting instead for a disorienting ride that keeps you on the edge of your seat. The Final Program is one of those films that will leave you thinking long after it's over, mostly because you'll be trying to figure out exactly what you just watched. It's a mad, strange journey that only the most adventurous viewers will truly appreciate. Zardoz, 1974. If you ever wanted to see Sean Connery in a red diaper, Zardoz is your film. This bizarre cult classic by John Boorman is a visual and philosophical trip into a future where society has been divided between the immortal Eternals and the brutal, barbaric Exterminators. Connery plays Zed, a warrior who questions everything as he enters a world that blurs the lines between freedom and control. The film's outrageous costuming, including Connery's now iconic red outfit, is just the beginning of its oddities. From its chaotic narrative structure to its cryptic imagery, Zardoz challenges its audience to make sense of its philosophical commentary on society, religion, and human nature. It's an exploration of a post-apocalyptic world where control and chaos constantly clash. The film moves between strange, dreamlike sequences and intense moments of political and psychological drama. As Zed uncovers more about the eternal secret, the film delves into ideas about immortality, freedom, and the human condition, all wrapped in a layer of visual madness. It's one of the strangest films ever made, and yet its ideas about the futility of human society remain surprisingly relevant. Whether you love it or hate it, Zardoz is a film that forces you to think, even if you're unsure about what exactly you just saw. The Omega Man, 1971. Charlton Heston doesn't just survive the apocalypse, he owns it. In The Omega Man, based on Richard Matheson's novel I Am Legend, Heston plays Robert Neville, one of the last uninfected humans in a world ravaged by a plague that turns people into nocturnal, mutated creatures. It's a gritty, action-packed exploration of isolation, survival, and humanity's desperate struggle to maintain its identity in a world falling apart. What makes this film so strange isn't just the premise of a lone man battling mutants. It's the eerie calm of the post-apocalyptic world, punctuated by the occasional explosion of violence. The film plays with themes of loneliness and the loss of civilization, as Neville attempts to find a cure for the plague while facing the increasingly bizarre behaviors of the infected. As the mutants grow more intelligent and organized, Neville's role as the last man standing becomes less heroic and more tragic. The stark contrast between Neville's survivalist determination and the eerie, almost peaceful emptiness of the world around him creates a surreal atmosphere that pulls you in. The Omega Man explores the idea of man's arrogance in thinking he can control everything, only to find that his creations, whether biological or social, can undo everything. It's a film that feels more poignant than ever in today's world of fast-paced technological change. Silent Running, 1972. In a future where Earth's ecosystem is dying, the last hope for life lies in a few protected, biodome-covered forests orbiting in space. In Silent Running, Bruce Dern plays Freeman Lowell, a botanist aboard a spaceship assigned to protect these last remnants of Earth's natural beauty. When orders come to destroy the forests, Lowell must go rogue and protect the plants at all costs. The film is a haunting meditation on environmental destruction, corporate greed, and the lengths one person will go to preserve life. What makes Silent Running so strange is its slow, melancholic pacing, paired with its surreal yet emotional story of a man's bond with nature in a desolate future. The film's focus is more on the internal struggle of Lowell than on external action, creating a quiet intensity that builds slowly as the story unfolds. The isolated, claustrophobic atmosphere aboard the spaceship, coupled with Lowell's almost obsessive attachment to the plants, makes this film feel like a tragic fable. While its message about environmental conservation may feel a bit dated today, the film's emotional weight and eerie beauty remain impactful. Silent Running is a film that moves at its own pace, and if you're willing to follow, it offers a somber, thought-provoking experience. The Andromeda Strain, 1971. What would happen if an extraterrestrial microorganism was capable of adapting, evolving, and potentially wiping out humanity? The Andromeda Strain, directed by Robert Wise, is a tense, cerebral thriller about a team of scientists racing against time to understand and contain a deadly alien pathogen that has landed on Earth. The film's most striking feature is its cold, scientific approach. There are no flamboyant space battles or sweeping action sequences, just a group of scientists working in a sterile, high-tech lab, trying to make sense of an organism that defies all logic. The microorganism, which mutates rapidly and has a terrifying ability to destroy life, offers a chilling reflection of how easily humanity's scientific curiosity could spiral into uncontrollable disaster. The eerie, clinical tone and slow-burning suspense build a constant sense of dread as the team's investigation leads them into unexpected and increasingly alarming discoveries. The tension here is psychological more than physical, as the characters struggle to make sense of a biological weapon they can't control or fully understand. While the technology and special effects might feel dated today, the Andromeda Strain remains eerily relevant in our world of bioengineering, global viruses, and scientific experimentation. Its quiet horror lies in the idea that the real danger isn't always the weapon we can see, but the one that evolves beyond our comprehension. If you're looking for a sci-fi film that keeps you up at night thinking, this one's a classic. The Last Man on Earth, 1959. The Last Man on Earth may be one of the first adaptations of Richard Matheson's novel, I Am Legend, but it's certainly one of the strangest. Starring Vincent Price as the sole survivor of a plague that has turned the rest of humanity into vampire-like creatures, this black-and-white sci-fi film is a haunting journey into isolation, madness, and survival. Price's portrayal of Robert Morgan, a man who loses his humanity as he struggles to stay sane in an abandoned world, is nothing short of mesmerizing. The film, with its minimalistic approach to post-apocalyptic storytelling, is both chilling and poignant. The concept of being the last person on Earth is explored not through grand action scenes, but through the slow unraveling of Morgan's mental state. He spends his days hunting down the mutated creatures that were once his neighbors and friends, only to question his purpose when he realizes that his own humanity is slipping away. The film takes the viewer through moments of despair and horror, with Price's intense performance giving it a psychological edge that goes beyond the standard monster film. Its eerie atmosphere, accompanied by stark cinematography, pulls you into a world where survival is the only goal, and yet it comes with a great cost. The Last Man on Earth remains one of the most fascinating takes on the post-apocalyptic genre, with a strange, tragic beauty that stays with you long after the credits roll. The Man Who Fell to Earth, 1976. David Bowie as an alien in a story about isolation, addiction, and the human condition. The Man Who Fell to Earth is one of the most bizarre, yet profoundly haunting films in the sci-fi genre. Directed by Nicholas Roeg, this 1976 classic tells the story of Thomas Jerome Newton, an alien from a dying planet who arrives on Earth in search of water to save his people. But what begins as a straightforward mission soon becomes a deep, philosophical exploration of the alien's struggle to adapt to Earth's consumerist society. Bowie's portrayal of Newton is both mesmerizing and unsettling, as he brings a strange, ethereal quality to a character that is caught between two worlds, one that he is desperate to save, and one that he can never truly belong to. The film's narrative is non-linear and often surreal, making it feel more like a dream than a traditional movie. Its stark visuals and haunting score, combined with its slow pacing and psychological depth, create an otherworldly atmosphere that lingers long after the film ends. The Man Who Fell to Earth is more than just a sci-fi film. It's a meditation on the human experience, the destructive nature of capitalism, and the loneliness that comes with being out of place. It's strange, alienating, and profoundly moving, making it one of the most unique films of the decade. If you're looking for something that pushes the boundaries of traditional storytelling, this one's for you. Solaris, 1972. Solaris is the type of sci-fi that lingers in your mind long after the credits roll, as it's more about exploring the mind than about showcasing futuristic tech. Directed by Andrei Tarkovsky, this film is a haunting exploration of grief, memory, and the human subconscious. Set on a space station orbiting a mysterious planet, the crew members are tormented by strange physical manifestations of their repressed memories. What sets Solaris apart from other space films is its intellectual and emotional depth. It's a slow-burn meditation on the boundaries of human experience. The planet, Solaris, is not just a distant celestial body, but a sentient being that interacts with the crew's psyches, bringing their deepest fears and desires to life. Instead of thrilling action sequences or stunning space visuals, Tarkovsky's film plunges into profound psychological and philosophical realms. The surreal visuals, combined with the emotionally complex performances, create an atmosphere of isolation and quiet desperation that perfectly matches the introspective themes. What makes this film so strange is its quietness. There are no loud moments, just an unrelenting focus on human consciousness, making it one of the most unsettling and thought-provoking films of its time. If you are looking for a sci-fi film that asks big questions about the human soul, Solaris is an unforgettable experience. These strange, mind-bending sci-fi films from the 70s are not just forgotten relics, they're hidden masterpieces that challenge the way we think about humanity, technology, and the unknown. Curious yet? If you're brave enough to dive into their bizarre worlds, prepare for a cinematic experience that'll leave you questioning everything. What's the weirdest sci-fi you've ever seen?